Okay. Sorry if this video isn't the best. I'm working on a very tight schedule and I just have no time to readjust anything. So yeah, this is what we're going with. So, alright, let's begin. I'm going to begin with talking about the news, and then at the end I'm going to wrap up and say why I named this video the way I did. So yeah, let's go. Hundreds of teachers to be switched from in-person to virtual as TDSB announces huge reorganization. COVID-19 infections in Toronto this month could reach peak that we had in April, data suggests. Alarm bells ringing louder, Ontario official warns as COVID-19 cases hit a record high. 700,000 homes and businesses without power after hurricane hits Gulf Coast. Hurricane Delta makes landfall in Louisiana. Trump claims he's free of the virus, goes back on the campaign trail. Canada reports 5 new coronavirus deaths as cases surpass 180,000. Johnson & Johnson pauses coronavirus vaccine after unexplained illness. Some Toronto Peel residents appear to be crossing regional COVID-19 boundaries for exercise. A Toronto mayor says TTC tweet about lack of distancing aboard buses was insensitive. Toronto's top doctor releases new modeling, says pandemic will get much worse without new restrictions. The NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3090 is very good at cracking passwords. TTC tells riders social distancing will no longer be possible on vehicles. iPhone 12 was released this month. Despite record COVID-19 numbers, Alberta will not impose restrictions, Premier says. 70 new cases of COVID-19, 1 new death in Ottawa on Thursday, October 22nd. 2 protests take over downtown Toronto, October 17th. 2 Toronto hospitals declare COVID-19 outbreaks. Anti-maskers take a stand on Calgary's face covering bylaw at Chinook Centre. Ontario reports more than 800 cases of COVID-19 with nearly half in Toronto. Pandemic fuels internet freedom decline. COVID spikes worsen health workers shortages. Average daily virus cases hits all-time high, US. Austria eyes second nationwide lockdown. California wildfire leaves 2 firefighters critically injured. Forces 90,000 to evacuate. Protests break out in Italy amid deepening COVID-19 measures. US elections only a few days away. Huge floods in Vietnam. Second largest wildfire in Colorado. Huge protests in Chile. Europe is now closing its doors, but its recovery had been running ahead of the US. City stresses strategic test sites as data shows Northwest Toronto accounts for nearly a quarter of recent COVID-19 cases. Canada's top doctor outlines uncomfortable facts on coronavirus inequalities. US states face biggest cash crisis since the Great Depression. Snow combined with coldest temperatures of the season set to hit Toronto. COVID-19 forced Toronto's $2.2 billion film and TV production industry to a grinding halt, with 23 projects now underway. 3 dead in an apparent terrorist attack at church in Nice, France. Hundreds of Trump supporters stuck on freezing cold Omaha airfield after rally, 7 taken to hospitals. 5 days until US elections. Polls show Biden is leading, but Trump still sees path to victory. Ontario reports 834 new COVID-19 cases with over 300,000 tests processed. Death toll linked to COVID-19 climbs above 60 in Manitoba. None of the other kids feel safe. Hundreds of elementary school students forced into oversubscribed classes in TDSB. Hurricane Zeta forms in the Atlantic as it moves toward the Gulf Coast. First dog to test positive to COVID-19 in Canada. Saskatchewan. COVID-19 active cases to climb to record high for second day. Trump, Biden, and final full week of US elections campaign as coronavirus cases spike. Over 2,000 law enforcement agencies have iPhone encryption breaking tools. Microsoft releases temporary fix for Windows 10 reset bug, which would prevent people from factory resetting their computers. Hundreds of thousands lose power as Northern California braces for more wildfires. Trump is playing up China's threat to the 2020 election, but the evidence shows that Russia is the real danger. More than a quarter of inmates at Calgary jail infected as Alberta again sets COVID-19 records. President Trump's Twitter accessed by a security expert who guessed password MAGA2020. A fourth grader walked to school to use its Wi-Fi because he didn't have internet at home. Trump and Biden clash on pandemic. Race relations during final presidential debate. Hurricane Epsilon's eye reveals stadium effect as powerful storm to sideswipe Bermuda. Despite COVID-19 numbers, Alberta will not impose restrictions, Premier says. Millennials are losing faith in democracy, study shows. After keeping a low profile on campaign trail, Obama makes a debut for Biden. As U.S. presidential election enters final days, Canada braces for the fallout. Alaska coast hit by 7.5 magnitude earthquake. Tsunami warning issued. Trump abruptly ends 60 minutes interview before taping joint appearance with Pence. Anti-mask protesters ascend on UTH, Vancouver for second day of Mega Freedom Rally. Now that's all I really have for this month. I hope you guys enjoyed my Halloween theme. I didn't do too much, but I thought, why don't I put myself in the dark? And yeah. So we have the elections coming up. It was a bit of a rough beginning of the month for me. And it seems like things are really starting to heat up with COVID now, and the elections are right around the corner, as I said. And yeah, some crazy things are about to happen, as well as winter. So, let the games begin! Here we go. See y'all later.